has a somewhat looser feel to it.
Yeah, it's got an almost improvisational tone.
Oh, I think the intro kind of reversed itself. Sorry about that. Hopefully we got to the intro. I've got a new intro. Oh, I want to play it. Should we play the new intro? Okay, so here's a quick story real quick. So it's so good to see everybody, past, present, future. If you're here right now in the chat, say hello. Good morning to class. I'll play it next class. How about that? I'll play it and you got to come check it out. It'll be, get excited for next class. It's quite marvelous. It got a copyright claim on our video though. A copyright claim, not a copyright strike. Raj, good to see you, Raj. Matthew, good to see you. Good morning, everybody. What we are going to do to start class, to wake everybody up, is we were called this summer, we were called Stat Nation. Happy Thursday, Chloe and Allison and Jason. We were called Stat Nation. So what is Stat Nation? It's just what we call ourselves. I mean, you got to have an online community name, right? But hey, Shanice, so good to see you. Oh my gosh, I'm so good. There's students I've had before. Cameron has been in my class. Shanice has been in my class. If you've been in my class, hopefully I remember your name. But so many students I've had before, and I'm so glad to see you, even though we're not like seeing you online. Gabby was in my class. Katie and everybody. I think Katie was in my class too. But so Elizabeth Germany, I know that name too. So good to see you. If you're in chat right now, you get 20 points. Now, let's talk a little bit about the extra credit. Let's hop to that. Let's do that. We got so many things to cover today, and we're going to have fun right here. Top of the morning to you. No Jacksepticeye yet. So, what do we have right here? What's going on with all these points? Well, I dropped the link in the chat earlier, and I'll send it out via an announcement, but your weekly points, you should enter them in online. You can get a total max of 500 points a week. So the maximum extra credit you can get a week is 500 points. You can get 200 points a class. So usually I throw up extra credit based on like the task. I'll give out 200 points like a random person. Like, who wants 200 points? Let's just give a random person 200 points right now. It'll max them out for the day. That's the maximum amount of points you can get. Who's the first person to say they want the 200 points? Who right there? Annie Rockwell. Yes. And it's Amanda said they want the 200 points first. Amanda, you get the 200 points, and we're making Amanda a mod right here. So Annie took 320, I think a semester or two ago. So good just seeing everybody again. I see the names. I'm like, I know that person. Sorry if I don't remember your name. I'm trying to remember as many names as I could. So it was Amanda got the points right there. But who wants to get 20 points? I like, Brian, I wish I'd have those 200 points. So we can get 20 points. Here's what you can do to get 20 points right now. I want you to tag someone. So I want you to tag someone. I want you to say this like, hello, Peyton. I'm going to say hello to Peyton right here. So tag someone for 20 points. Tag someone. Cameron says, nah. I want you to tag someone in the chat. Now, if you notice, when you get tagged right here, it highlights your name, or like if someone tags you. So you can tag someone in the name, and they'll see it. There we go. Jake tagged me. I'm throwing Jake 50 points for tagging me right there. Everyone's going to tag me, but Jake tagged me, and I saw my name highlighted. So if you have a question for someone, probably me, or if you want to call someone's attention to something, you tag them in the chat, and then they can see what their message, their name will be highlighted. So you should see your name highlighted. So what do you think? Like, I want someone to ask me a question, but do it the best way. So this is one of the best ways to interact with me. Someone give it a shot. Ask me a question, but do it in a way that I might see it, and I'll throw you 200 points. You got to ask me a question, but it has to be in a way that I'll see it like that. I'll immediately notice it and be like, oh, hey, someone asked me a question. What's a really great way if you have a question directly to me that you could do it, but you have to do it in a way that I see it. Who's got this right here? Who's going to ask a question in a way that Brian will see it? There we go. Matthew gets 200, and we'll give Tyler 200 also, and we'll give David 200. I'm just being really nice right here. That maxes you out for the day. You can only get 200 max per class, but still stay here, have fun. Don't leave. Don't be like, I got my points, I'm out. So throwing some Monty Python. Donnie, you get 200 for the Monty Python, and Emma gets 200. No, I'm done with it. Okay, Elena, why not? Okay, we're done. Okay, stopping maxing people out. Oh, you guys know I like to have fun. Okay, so I'm making some more mods right here. How are you? I'm doing great this morning. Do you eat breakfast today? I did. I had eggs with cheese and bacon on it, and it was awesome. Did you see this question? I did, David. How am I doing? Great. What is the airspeed of a laden swallow? I have no idea. Monty Python. Did you move to Texas? I did. I'm in Texas. Which Dark Souls is the worst? Dark Souls 2, because Dark Souls 1 and 3 are the same like structure. Dark Souls 1 and 3 are basically like you could play 1 and then play 3. I've started playing more too. I've gotten used to it, but Dark Souls 1, 3, that's where it's at. And I need to play Demon Souls. How's your summer been? It's been really good, really relaxing. Got to play a bunch of video games. Are the blue names mods? You are correct. So with this right here, with these extra credit points that you're getting, we'll talk about more about mods here in a second. You need to have your notebook out. So have your notebook next to you and write down the points you're getting. You can get 20 points right now. Raj, don't you say that. You can get 20 points right now by telling me you have your notebook out next to you. Who has their notebook out next to you? And I need to play Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, right? Who has their notebook out next to them? You have it, 20 points right there, Zach and Mark and John, and my ringer's on. Let's turn off that ringer for now. So if you have your notebook out next to you, whenever I give you points, just mark down 20 points. Just put it to the side. It'll keep you active. It'll keep you doing work. So have your notebook out next to you. So I can't state this enough. We're still in class. Have your notebook out next to you. Some people, if you have the ability to stream this, you can put this on your TV. Is anyone watching it on their TV right now or have it on like a second screen? Like some people like put it on their TV. One person would like do the text on their phone, and then the other person, you have yours? Exactly. So there's a lot of great ways to watch this class since we're live on YouTube, and that's one of the best things I like about it. So you have a second screen, awesome. Double monitor, that's what I'm doing. Double monitor right here. I got this monitor and this monitor down here. So great stuff right there. So with this right here, this class is meant to be fun. It's meant to be live. It's meant to be interactive. So be here, be doing work. So the extra credit that you're getting is a huge part of the class because the extra credit can be up to 2 points on your final grade. So the extra credit can be the difference between an A and an A minus. I want to make that as clear as possible that when you're getting this extra credit, it could be the difference between an A and an A minus. One thing you should not do though, you should not email Brian and ask him to increase your grade. Never email Brian and say, hey Brian, I've got an A minus, can I get an A? One of my favorite / least favorite emails was, yo man, I need a C. It came early on in my career teaching. I think I'm late in my career now. But the email was, yo man, I need a C. And I should have just been like, no. Should have been my response. But I'm very nice. And I was like, oh, unfortunately, blah, blah, blah. But no, I'm a very nice person, I'd hope. I know I've met many of you. And, you know, we try to keep it really positive here. We try to have fun. And that's what we always do. And I think my neighbors are moving out. I just keep hearing like carpentry. So another question, Donnie, you're killing me. So with this right here, with all the extra credit you're getting, make sure to mark it down and make sure to enter it in weekly. That is key to doing well in this class, is following along and doing work. Now, here's another thing you can do. Let's say you can't attend lectures live, or you just want to get some more extra credit. You can go and leave a comment below a video, and you can do that once per video, I'd say. Yeah, just don't leave random comments like, hi. Try to make them pertain to the video, like especially if you've watched it, but put maybe like, hey, here's a timestamp for this, but go ahead and leave comments below the videos. And we have a new segment here called Last Week I Asked My Students, and earn 100. Yep, you can put those in right there. You can just add that on to the, like when you fill out the form once mark, you can put that in and put your YouTube name, like JG White Wick. You can put that in right there. Oh, I know who that is. It's Gavin. Or so yeah. So I don't know if you know. Yeah, I was trying to make sense. I was like, yeah, of course. So yeah, good to see you, Gavin. So oh man, I miss seeing all my students. I miss seeing all of you. I miss man. I'll be back on campus one of these days again, and I'll see you. And feel free to swing by my office. Feel free to like maybe, I don't know if we can all do something, but whenever I'm allowed to have bowls of candy again, like whenever it's good like that, we'll start doing bowls of candy and stuff. But we're doing our best to keep everyone safe right now. So, well, thank you so much, Fatima. Like I really, Raj, okay, this is the last story before I mention the new segment. Raj is actually, I believe, the last student I saw, and Raj and I were talking about that. I saw Raj like on March 10th or so, like right before spring break, I think, before, yeah, everything went crazy. But I saw Raj, and Raj and I were cracking up. But we were keeping 6 feet even before spring break. We were doing that. We're doing our best to help out. Vols help Vols, and Vol means all. So we got each other. So, you know, we're here for each other. But going back on topic here, because I'm a little ADD if you can't tell, you can leave comments on the videos. You can also leave this tag right here. I know, I need that candy. I need that candy, Andy, too. Annie. You can leave comments below the videos. You can leave the Lawaims on the video, And if you leave that, I might read your comment during a video. I might like say the name, but so if you want, and I may give additional bonus, especially if I really love the question. I can't read every question, but if I see one, I'm like, oh, that's such a great question, I might read it out, and I might be like, you get 200 extra bonus points for that. So you can put this like Lewimes comment on it. So with that, let's see our new Lewimes intro for when we have this. Here, let's check it out.
Leave your business analytics questions below, and I'll respond quickly or in the next episode of Lewiam.
Hey, we're back. So that's the new Lewimes intro. I think Jack's Films had a little bit of, he paused me, he's like, Lewimes. But exactly. So I know Raj is right. It was like literally in that moment. They're like, it's a pandemic. Or we're like, ha, 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 ha. So with this right here, you can leave comments below the video. Does everyone understand the whole point of this is to get you interacting? Oh, Gavin, we'll be back. We'll be doing something when the world allows it, and when we can do it, we'll be doing it again. But we've also got some great stuff going on right here. One thing we're also doing is we're doing the Kahoots, and you can attend the Kahoots. I might put some 474 320 questions at the end of Kahoots. Would you guys? What do you think? Should we do that to 201 students? Should we put a 320 or 474 question at the end of Kahoot, like the challenge round? I need some advice on this. 201's not going to be happy. If there's enough votes, if everyone's like, Gavin says yes, and everyone's saying yes. So we could say like the challenge round. Exactly. I like this. I like this. So, and as you can see, I always see the chat. So this is basically a live stream, as you can tell. So here, let's make Gabby a mod here, and let's make Jason a mod, and then we'll talk about more about mods in a second once we talk about extra credit, and Hannah a mod. So, and we'll try to make everyone mods. So we'll talk about mods in a moment here, but if you attend a Kahoot, you get 50 points for just attending a Kahoot. Another thing you can do is you can just look at your points at any time. These are Streamlab points. You do not need to track these. These accumulate the longer you watch a stream. So the longer you watch a stream, just by being here in the stream, as long as Streamlabs is working, you can check your points. And I'll probably add on points, like on weekends, I might sit down and add in a bunch of points. It can take a while. It can take a while to add in points. I wish there was a quicker way, but I want to give out points like this and other ways. So with this, you can attend the Kahoots, and I'll also be premiering videos. So if you attend the premiere of a video, you also get 50 points for being there at that premiere. Now, one thing I want to mention is the channel's actually making like $5 a day right now, but I think it'll die down because everyone's watching like the how to install our videos and all these things. But right now, the channel's making $5 a day. If we make $5 a day, how much money do we make a year? Who can do that math? First person, 200 points. $5 a day, how much money do we make a year? If we make $5 a day, which is what we're making right now, I was like, whoa. Usually we make like 40 cents a day. You do exclamation mark points, and that will check your points. There we go. Jason gets 200 points right there, and so does Monks right there. Please tell me if I mispronounce your name. If you type it phonetically, I'll try to get correct, and please tell me. I want to pronounce everyone's name correctly, at least. No, you're cracking me up right there. No one gets 200 points for just cracking me up. But the answer is we'd get almost $2,000 with $5 a day. Now, I don't think we're going to make $5 a day for the rest of the semester, but where do we make this money from? It's whenever you see an ad on a video, which if it's on a lecture, it's because we got copyright claimed. Like I'll play the Marvel intro. I don't know, see, that's why I'm a little afraid to play it. I don't want to put, hopefully they just put one ad, but I'd hate, if they put an ad like every 10 minutes, which some videos have, that'd be ridiculous. So I have to watch out. If I start seeing like stuff like that, I have to never use the Marvel intro again, even though it's really awesome. So that's why you might see ads on videos. And then what are we doing with this money? Right now, it's mainly going to Stats 201. I gave away an Amazon gift card to someone last week. And we don't make $5 every day. Don't worry. I guess that'd be $35 a week, which is about the $25 to give away. So right now, I think there's like $40, but I haven't even cashed it out. But $40 left because we made like $75 total over the time we've existed with monetization. So anyways, whole point of this is if we do make money, it's all going back to students. And also my goal, my very end goal with this, what's my end game with it? Speaking of Marvel, it's to do scholarships. I'd really love it if we had like $1,000 scholarship. I think that would be awesome if some way we were like, okay, at the end of the semester, we give out $1,000 scholarship. And if we had $5,000, we'd give out 5 $1,000 scholarships. So if you like videos, if you comment on videos, if you watch premieres, and I'm not saying just watch our channel all the time, but whatever you're doing to interact with this channel helps. The more we grow this channel, if one of our videos were to get like millions of views, which I'm trying to make more videos that are more common usage, that would really help out. So anyways, you know the ins and outs of YouTube now. Let's talk more about this class. Another great way to get points if you can't watch live is to do data camp. And I know a few people who have done data camp. Maybe a person who comes to my office, maybe someone who likes Chick-fil-A, I noticed is really doing well at some data camp. I look at the data camp, I see how people are doing, and I'm really proud that some people have already done a bunch of work in data camp. You can put these points on to how much you got a week. These points you can pretty much get infinite of. And someone asked last class, can I do any course I want on data camp? You can. I'll accept any course you want. I mean, you could try to find the easiest courses and do them all, but I mean, you'd still be learning. So I'm okay with that. Does everyone understand that data camp is also bonus? How's everyone doing? How does this all look? Everyone's checking their points right now. Data camp is also bonus. Exactly. Yeah. Chick-fil-A comes to my office. You know what I'm talking about right there. And so, yep, I looked and I was like, that's really awesome. So I'm really proud of that. Great work. And I want to mention this. You know what else I'm really proud of? I really mean this. I don't say I'm proud lightly. The amount of people who have done assignment 0, because assignment 0 is coming up. It's due middle of next week. We're fine. Is there a set order? I've put some assignments in there. Feel free to email me, Ashley, and I can make suggestions. I would start with introduction to R, intermediate R, and I think there's a writing functions in R. So I've put some assignments in there, and feel free to look through those. But if you're wondering which ones to do, I can give you suggestions. So great question right there, Ashley. Ashley, that's 200 points, because that's a really great question. Like, what order should we do them in? And I'm going to hop over here to the main screen. No, let's go to main screen. We'll do syllabus stuff here in a second. Right behind my head, you can see the amount of people who have submitted assignment 0, the knitting assignment. Please tell me if there's any issues. Yep. Kim, you were right. Introduction to R would be 500 bonus points. You are totally right. And I want to say again that I'm so proud of the amount of people who have submitted this. This is the easiest assignment all semester, and I put out a help video for it just so you can know what you need to look for. Don't make a mistake during it. Has everyone who's seen my help video and it shows you exactly what you need to have in it? If we did some during the summer, will they count? Yeah, I think, yeah, it'll count, Raj. I'll count it because it's learning. Gabby's seen it right there. You watched it. Yep. So make sure you have both the picture and the right version of R. If you have both those, you get 100. So it's a good video. I'm going to try to put out weekly videos like that, and I'll probably premiere them on like Wednesday, I think, for you guys and gals. I say guys because I'm from New York. So it's just like, if you say something your whole life, it's hard to change it. But I try to say everyone and stuff like that now, but I say you guys. But with that, I think that's got it. Let's take a moment right here. I've gone over a lot. I think the last thing to mention is what are mods? Usually people are asking like, what are the mods? So the reason we have mods is if someone were to come in here and say like really mean things, which is not what Stat Nation does, we can remove them. So you can remove things that people say if they're not a mod. Now, please tell me if someone somehow is a mod and they're saying mean things. We did have one instance of that in our whole history of streaming classes online, and I modded someone who shouldn't be modded, and someone was like, hey, this person is really putting people down. I thought they were joking around. I thought they knew the person. We keep it positive here. So people sometimes make jokes on each other. They sometimes like, because there's a lot of friendships here and people know each other, but we keep it positive, we keep it helpful, and that's our goal. And yesterday even someone made a joke and I removed them and they're like, no, Brian, I think they're actually just being funny, nice. And I was like, oh, oops. So with that said, does everyone understand what mods are? Who's with me on what a mod is? That you have the power to remove comments. You have the power to hide people too. And so what we do, Jason right there, 200 points, following along, love it. So you're probably maxed out, Jason, but you're following along, love it. So monks, what it is a mod. Like let's say someone comes in here and says mean things. So you can hover over the side of what they wrote and you can remove what they wrote. Sometimes we get random people who come into our class. We don't interact with them. Like you'll see me, this is what happens. Someone will say something mean and I'll look and I'll be like this. And then you might see me be like, so click, and then I'll remove it. And the mods will see it get removed. There are things that YouTube blocks or YouTube should block. There's really bad things that people can say that YouTube will just block straight out. But we just hide the users on the channel. We make them go away. And but YouTube's pretty good at filtering things that just shouldn't be on here at all. But with that said, we keep it positive here, and the mods are here as just extra protection. So I have to have mods on the stream to make sure, like let's say I'm teaching and, that way you guys, because some mods are really quick. Like someone will say something and I'll go to click and they'll be click, done. It's like so-and-so hid the user on channel. So mods will get to see some people get hidden and stuff like that. So anyways, it just keeps our online community really happy and helpful. That's what a mod does. And with that, how about we start talking about the syllabus? I had like a syllabus transition screen or something like that. So here is the syllabus. My hair is like long in this picture, and now my hair is like really long. Like this is, I shouldn't tell you guys this idea. Here's we're gonna have fun all throughout today. But one idea that Chelsea, my fiance, and I had was like that we should shave like half my head. I'm totally giving this away. I shouldn't mention it. I should start class like this, and I should be like, should I shave my head and then turn my head and my other half of my head is shaved or something like that, and like not like with a 5 guard or something, like not I don't know. I mean, I've had my hair like that long, but not like, yeah, mullet. I should do a mullet. We would need some votes on this. I'll tell you what, if we somehow, I'll talk to Chelsea. No, I'm not doing that. Natasha. The Skrillex look, I should tell her to do Skrillex. Is Chelsea going to make a guest appearance? Maybe one of these days she might. Chelsea is my fiance. She is a resident in veterinary medicine, and that's why I'm in Texas. And I get to hang out with her now. So, everyone heard me always talking about Chelsea, especially if it was over the last, year. She was on an internship, and I would go and visit her. I'd fly to Oklahoma. But you know what we should do? We should have a I have a statue on Twitter, and I just tweeted Jack Black. So if you guys look to Twitter right now, you'll see my tweet to Jack Black or I did a response, or maybe I don't know. I couldn't find it this morning. Maybe it went away. But you guys are crazy. But I want Jack Black to be in part of one of our cahoots. Speaking of, I didn't mention this, and once again, we don't bug people. Like, I don't want people to be like, do it, because it's his thing. Your aunt planned his wedding. Well, I mean, like, if she's like, hey, Jack Black, if you want to, no, we don't want to bug people, but that's super awesome, Peyton. And you never know who knows who, but if Peyton Manning or Julio might help out and come in and do some stuff, we've got a really cool interview screen right here. Let me go over to the interview screen. So here's my interview screen. I can do interviews of people. I can have them zoom in. We've got Julio in the background right here. Go for Macklemore look. But we want to keep it fun this semester. Who knows if someone can make a guest appearance or join in on our class to start out, or if they want to film an intro for us, whatever people want to do. I want it to be fun. I want it to be entertaining. But if you know someone, like, let's say you know Macklemore and you're like, hey, Macklemore, let's say you just like know him as like a friend. You're like, hey, I got this class and my teacher wants like some people to do some fun stuff with it. You want to help out? And he's like, nah. And you're like, okay, cool. So, or hopefully he's like, yes. But we're just here to have fun and to learn. So with that, let's hop back in. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Okay. So anyways, that's the fun of the class. If you can't tell, I like to keep it interesting. Maybe I'll play the Marvel intro at the end. You never know. You never know. So with this is the theme of the class. This is a class that's streamed live on YouTube, and we're about to get a little more serious here. We're about to bring it down to a little more serious level and talk about the syllabus. But any last questions about the theme of the class before we head over to the syllabus? Any last questions? Feel free to ask them now. And I will mention this just briefly here while people are thinking of questions. If you do have a question to email me, use the following things right here. Use the following, you'll put your initials here. Like I'll put Brian Joseph Stevens. So are the points self-reported? Yep. So try to be honest with them. Don't try to be, just be honest. You don't have to track your Streamlab points, but the points are self-reported. So should we write down points by hand during lecture? Yep, just put them in the side of your notebook. So while I'm teaching here and you just hear me being like, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da, hey, Gavin, you get 50 points right there. So Gavin, you got 50 points. You just write 50. You're like, 50 points. Just put 50. You don't have to put what they're for. You can just put 50, and then you'll put it in at the end of the week. Does that go for data cone points as well? Yep, self-reported. Yep. The only thing that you don't have to worry about is the Streamlab points, which you get for watching. So for being here live, you get the Streamlab points. So these points right here that I'm going to see on the screen when it says Stat 1, you have this many points. You don't need to report me those. Those are tracked. I wish everything could be tracked. But those points right there, those 2,780 points, those don't need to be tracked. Data camp points, you just you'll put them into the sheet. So if you've completed 2 modules, if you've completed not 2 modules, but 2 courses, you'll put in 1,000 points. 1,000 points. So you're already this much to a point on your thing. Does that make sense right there, Gavin? Okay, JG. So everyone's taking their points there. Where do we report points? I'll send out the sheet again. I've got a sheet. Make sure to, so especially JG Wick, put in something close to that so I know to search for it, because I have to put them in manually. And I'll probably put those in maybe closer at 500 per course. Yep. I'll link the sheet. Yeah, I'll link it now. Let's do it. Let's link it in the chat. Do I still have it up? 2 moments here. Okay, I'm getting the sheet as we talk. As we talk, getting the sheet. Can we play sad music while I get the sheet? Sad music. Watch me get a copyright claim on this. It's not loading. It's doing the load thing, but not loading. Oh, there it's loading. Okay. We need more sad music to cover the time. If I play it twice, I'm going to get the copyright claim. Okay, I'm going to send out the link here in a moment. Getting link for sheet. Copying link for sheet. Going back to class. And here we go. There's the link for the sheet. There you go right there. There's the link to put in your points. And can you repeat the daily and weekly limits for the points? Jason, amazing question. Jason, you're at your 200 points, which is the class limit right here. And the weekly max limit for each week is 500. Now the data camp goes on top of that. I should say, let me put a thing right here. There's no limit on the data camp. You could do like 20 data camp courses. I mean, you can only get a max of 2 points on your grade, but it's a really great way. So enter our points once per week, I would say. Yep. I should have made it like on test 1. I don't know. That'd make my life a lot easier. Do we only fill out the sheet once per week? Yeah, I would do it once per week. That's because I'm going to have a lot of stuff to enter in. And enter your name as it appears on YouTube. So I need to change it. Maybe it says YouTube name. I think does everyone understand what's going on there? I think we're pretty good on that. And our class goes to 11:05. Is that correct? I need to make this clock Knoxville time. I am back in time. Can I show that? I am back in time. So the 0.5, 1, and 2 points, where do those go? Oh, towards your final grade. Great question, Elizabeth, right there. Elizabeth, 50 points right there. These go to your final grade in the class. We'll talk more about the syllabus, but this is huge. This is on your final grade, which this can literally be the difference between an A- and an A. It can bring you from a 90 to a 92. This is huge. So interacting, and think about this. How many weeks do you need to basically get full extra credit to get the 2 points on your grade? How many weeks do you need to do full extra credit to get the max bonus on your grade? I always try to adjust this to make this so uphill at 10. Zach gets 50 points right there, and so does Tyler. 10 weeks, because you can get 500 points. And yeah, and then you get your Streamlab points too. You don't even need 10 weeks, because if you're here live during lecture, you'll get more points. And who knows, maybe I'll make it 2.5 points. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll make a little extra bonus. But these should be pretty easy hurdles to get to. I want as many people to get the extra credit as they can. And what's the point of this? It's to get you interacting. So if you can't tell, the whole point of this is to get you here and to interact on videos, to have you either comment, to have you watch live, to have you doing data camp, to engage the class. The last thing to mention, I think, is Discord. I'm trying to think if that's in the syllabus. I'll email out Discord links again. They expire. If you can't get into the Discord, please email me. Has anyone ever had a group me for a class, and was it helpful? Has anyone ever had like a group me and you're like, oh, that group me was so great. Like I was able to like talk to people in the class. I was able to interact. Who's had a group me for a class and it really helped you out with that class? There we go. So our goal is, if you've never used Discord, it's just like GroupMe in one particular way. It's got the text channels of GroupMe. So just like how GroupMe has text channels, Discord has the exact same thing. So my goal for this class is I wanted everyone to know that we have like our own Discord where you can go and you can interact, and you can just use the text channels. Do we need to use a new Discord account for? You can if you want. Either one's fine. You can use your gaming one. Perfectly fine. Just make sure I know it's you. Like if someone were to start to say like things that we're like, no, I'm going to get rid of that person. But yeah, as long as we know. And Jake likes Discord right here. So the great job, Jake, 50 points, and Jason, 50 points. Great job. Keep interacting. Peyton, 50 points. And so the biggest thing is we want to grow our own community. One thing that happened during the summer that was amazing is students would meet up on the Discord and do homework together. That is awesome. You are allowed to share your screen on Discord. If I'm showing this right here, I don't think people are going to be like copying down everything I have written and then like, okay, scroll down. Okay, they're going to copy this down and then scroll down. Okay, copy this down. and if they're doing that, that's cheating. Don't do that. But if someone's like, hey, how do I run the pairs function? You're like, oh, let me show you. And you hop on. That's the same thing. Andy, you remember how like people would come to my office and they would sit next to each other and they'd be like, oh, hey, what did you write? And they'd be like looking and they'd be like, well, how does that work? So with this right here, that's what we're trying to build with Discord. And Gavin, great question, because I'm going to send out this weekend, probably maybe tomorrow. Everything's so quick. I'm going to send out a full sheet of office hours for both myself, Dr. Lou, and our TAs. And we're going to have lots of time where we'll be on there. So Annie, you can hop on to the Discord and we're going to have separate rooms where people can go in. So we could have like a room where there's like 4 seats or 5 seats. And then we could even have 2 seats. But, if you want to share screens and stuff like that, do realize if you're sharing a screen, it is like on a Discord server and you're sharing your screen. But, and so I'm going to try to make sure if I have someone sharing a screen, and please tell me, hey, Brian, can we hop to like the one-on-one room? Because I do have one-on-one rooms that I can like pull people into. And so that way it'd only be me like looking at your screen and helping you and be like, hey, Brian, here, let's hop to your office room. And so I've got like the ability to do that. So only we would be looking at the screen. So just tell me. The biggest thing is I want students to feel comfortable with this. And you can always text in there. You can always chat in there. For those who have used Discord, it's basically like Zoom and GroupMe. So yeah, and anytime you have a question about the class, you can ask in the Discord and you can be like, hey, so when are assignments due? Or what is a mod on YouTube? And that's great. So with that said, that's the Discord. Please ask questions if you have it about it. But I'm glad people look to know what's going on. It's so glad to see. What's going to be, you see, the thing is like, I'm going to be in Texas for 3 years and I know who, like, I can see Raj, I can see Annie, I can see Gavin. I'm trying to think, Jake, did we ever meet? I'm trying to remember who else. Cameron right there. I was so excited to see Cameron. I know Cameron's aunt because she's my Pearson representative. And so, like, I'm going to miss like seeing my students and knowing who my students are. And then most of my office hours will be on Discord, Peyton. I'll host some live on YouTube. Like I'll do work on YouTube. Like I'll solve stuff and I'll show how to do problems on YouTube. So I will do like live, like helping out with assignments on YouTube time. And then I'll also be on Discord time. So there'll be like a time during the week where it's like Brian answers assignment questions live on this, but then I'll also be on Discord answering questions too. So Peyton, really good questions right there. Peyton, 50 points. Aw, Cameron. Cameron's at 201, 320, now 474, Cameron. I'm so proud of you, man. I can still remember the first class. We were in that circular room in 201, and that's where Michael was in our class, and Muhammad was in our class, and other Muhammad was in our class. I'm trying to think who else was there, but Cameron, I remember that perfectly well. So I miss so many students. I can't tell you, like, the more students I see graduate, I'm just like, it makes me happy, sad. Anyways, so this is our class. This is what's going on. We go right until, okay, I'm just trying to think. These new class times are so weird. So we go until, is this correct? Let me put it in here. Please tell me if I'm correct, everybody, because I need to know what time we go till. Is that our end time? Is that the end time? Mobile apps should work. 11:05. Awesome. Thank you. 50 points. All those people saying 11:05. Thank you so much. I need to know when our end time is. Cool. Office hours. We'll be sending out office hours soon. Office location. I will be on Discord and I will be on YouTube. We're going to it'll be a very structured thing for you to see. Don't worry. You can see like when are the times. And then also our TAs will be on Discord so they can interact with you there. That's where our offices are at. That's where the class is at if you're in a physical classroom. There's my section. There's Dr. Lou's section. Social distance, please. Vols help vols. Vol means all. So do your best to help everyone. Yep. And software using R and R Studio. Textbooks. There's no required textbook for this class, but there are some really good downloads that we have. Some things you can use. Some resources. Purpose of the class. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So data mining. This is my quick little spiel on data mining. Data mining is insanity. The things you can do with data mining, I never thought possible. You can take, do I have support vector machine up? Let me bring it over here. It's one of the coolest. Here it is. Here's support vector machine here. Here's support vector machine. The things you can do with support vector machine. Is this the notes for it? I think it might be. The absolute insanity. Gotta load up the packages. The absolute insanity of data mining. Worry about that later. What do you think of the YAR textbook? It's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. I like Data Camp best. That's my best way to be successful. So with data mining, it's harnessing the computing power that we have gathered in recent years. Do you remember in 201 how many regression models you made? Can you count on your hand when you make a regression model how many regression models you would make? How many regression models would you make in 201? And I think I could let me bring up an actual example right here. When you would make a regression model, there we go, that's the one I want. I don't want to code the full thing. Here we go right here. Net. There we go. How many regression models would you make in 201? Do I have all the packages loaded up? Train not found. We need to make our train data. 2 seconds. No, no one knows. I've totally stumped everyone. I can't find my code these days. I'll make the train data here by hand. You ready for this? Okay, let's make the train data here by hand. We're going to do some impressive, fun stuff, and I'm going to clean up my code a little bit here. Okay, so you would make one regression model in 201. One regression model. Did everyone hear that? One regression model. This is something we'll do towards the end of class. And this is using the train data set with the meat weight. So this is the EX3 abalone data set. So EX3 abalone. And I'm going to run this code right here. So this is an example in data mining with what I think is the amazing things we can do. Who's with me right now? I want to say, I'm with you, Brian, for 20 points in the chat. Who's with me right now as I do this? This is towards an end of semester thing where we will get to, and you'll be learning what this means and what we're doing. You're with me, Peyton. I like it right there. 20 points. I like it right here. Let's do this. Let's see a crazy example. So what we're going to do is we're going to make train rows. We're going to make train.rows. Let's sample EX3 abalone. And we want size. Let's go 70%. I'll give that right there. I think that'll work. There's the train rows. Let's go to train. We don't need a holdout for now. We won't do the holdout. I mean, we could. Yeah, sure, we'll do it anyways. So EX3 abalone. No. Coding on the fly is always fun. And there we go. Oops, that's supposed to be the holdout. We'll fix that. So here's the holdout. And so that's the train. And there's the, whoa, what happened? What did I do, everybody? Invalid. Is the EX3 abalone not loaded? Our train rows, oh, that's why. 70%, haha. This is what happens when you don't code for a week. Invalid argument for sample size. Oh, haha, my gosh. Going way too quick right here. We did this for train, wasn't required though. Oh, awesome. My gosh. It's n row. What? 15 sample. Oh my gosh. You guys, this is what happens when you try to code too fast. Sample the number of rows. There we go. Here we go. No one, we're going to delete that part of the video. No one saw that. There we go. Here we go. And then we have a problem, of course. Oh, I don't have fit control. Let me load a fit control. What line of code are we on? We're on 808. So I'm going to load up a fit control here. And where's my fit controls? Too much code. We're on 808. Here we go. So we'll do, sure, we'll do this. And then we're on 808. Let's go down to 808. So much code. And let's take a look at this. This is what I want people to see. Is when we go right here, error in, no. Never do anything live. Do we have the fit control set up? We do have it. Error, let me double check. Examples live are always a good idea. Let's see. How's everyone doing? Set seed, fit control, error seed not found. Why don't I read the errors? Seed equals 474. There we go. Working. Code is working. So now what we can do right here is we can take a look at our GLM net and we can see here's all the models we created. You remember how you made one regression model in 201? This is how many regression models we made right here. These are all different regression models right here. And we should be able to do an additional function. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I know it's insane. That's why I was like, I'm just going to do this example right here to be like, hey, here's what we can actually do now. And we should have the GLMnet saved. So where's my capital GLMnet? There it is. Whoa, that's awesome. So here is a plot of how it's doing. 200-point question. What is the RMSE? Is there an easy way to update, or should I re-download R? You don't have to update RStudio, but you can re-download R. So RStudio you don't have to worry about. Welcome to the jungle. Yeah, exactly. What is the RMSE? What does RMSE stand for and what does it mean? Who remembers what RMSE stands for and what does it mean? I like that. Gavin's pretty close. And Gavin and Kim get the 200, and so does Micah right there. And wow, you guys are awesome. If you're remembering this as the root mean squared error, you're doing great. You get 100 points. Everyone who I didn't give the 200 to, trying to get as many people. It's the typical miss the model makes. And this is the validation portion of the model. And it makes these cool patterns you can see right here, but then we'll learn what the alpha and lambda are. So you've got the regularization parameter, which is lambda, and then you've got your mixing percentage, which is the alpha for the GLMnet model. So you will learn about the GLMnet model, but look at all these different models I made. These are all different models. And you would want our Mika, thank you, Mika. 200 points for telling me how to pronounce your name. I appreciate that. So what do we have right here? Which one of these models would be the best? The blue up here, or these models down here? The low or the high one? Which would be the best models? These up here or these down here? Which are going to be the best models? Boom, Zach gets 200 right there. Yep, the low ones. Because you want lower typical miss. Because this is how much the model typically misses by, because it's the root mean squared error. If you're ever wondering which words cancel between root, mean, square, and error, which words cancel between root, mean, and square error, which words cancel each other out? Which words cancel between root? Close, Jason. Root and square. So if those words cancel each other out, what are you basically saying? No, don't worry. What are you basically saying if root and square cancel? If root and square cancel each other out, what are you basically saying? If root and square were to cancel, you'd be saying mean error, which is typical miss. And this is how we learn concepts. So this is an example. I wanted to do an example of how I teach the class. So this is how we learn the concepts. Because it's like, okay, root mean squared error. If you're wondering, well, why do you square it and root it? It's because some errors are positive and some errors are negative. If we just did mean error, what would the positive and negative errors go to if we just did mean error? If we didn't square it and then take the mean and then root it, what would the mean error be if we didn't? And you can do absolute. You can do absolute. Mark is right. It'd be 0. And that's a big thing. We have to do it. But you can also do, I can't think of it for a moment. Oh my gosh, MAE, mean absolute error, mean absolute error. You can do MAE. So MAE stands for mean absolute error. So that's another way of doing it. And there's a few other ways too, but these are measures of how your model does. Mean absolute percentage error too, right? And map, yep, there you go. Hey, Gavin, amazing job. 200 points, Gavin. Keep it up. Keep saying these extra things because these are things we should maybe learn about. We use RMSE in this class, but there's nothing wrong with, there's reasons. People are like, well, RMSE is better for this reason. MAE is better for this reason. MAPE is better for this reason. But these are all things we can debate about, and you're learning a lot by learning all these different things. And that's what we want people to know is these different concepts. So great work. That's just an example of Brian's teaching right there and how we'll learn in the class. We'll go through the code step by step, and you will get a lot of examples of code. That document I was using is a document I have published to Canvas right now, I believe, so you can use that document. So if you are looking for the notes in the class, if you are looking, Brian, where are those notes? The notes for the class can be found under the modules. So under the modules, you will see all our different notes right here. I guess, did Dr. Lou upload those? Dr. Lou probably uploaded these notes right here. Lecture notes for class. Maybe I should take a look at those. And you can see different things right here, but here's where all of the notes are for the class. They are found under modules. We might do a little bit to clean it up, but using, there we go, most important, let me move this. Did I put it at the data mining? I did. Did everyone see that document I was using? This document I'm using right here is the same thing you just saw me using, and it's a huge helpful file. It's got tons of stuff in it. So if you're wondering, hey, Brian, I want to use that thing you were using just a moment ago, which has so much in it, this is what people find very, very helpful for the data mining portion of the course. It basically has how to do everything. It has notes on everything, all the different models creation. It's a ton of different stuff. I probably should have just written all the code by hand, but there's so much in this. Don't worry, you won't be coding this much. We show you how to do all the code, And I would say once again in this class, just like 320, the coding is not the hardest part of the class. So don't worry, we'll give you help with the code, and we don't want coding to be the barrier, but there is a coding test. Okay, let's continue on with the syllabus right here. So we understand a little bit about the course and how Brian teaches the course and how to interact. The biggest thing with being successful in this course is do the homeworks, do the weekly quizzes, and also come to class. So all of that right there. So please, please, please come to class, please do the work, and please stay involved. When it comes to grading, there is portions of your grade that I think are the easiest parts to get. Let me drop down to this right here. The easiest portion of your grade to get is this right here. This right here is basically a free grade. Now I want you to see something crazy right here. This is absolutely insane. We're going to go back to R. And do I have it open here? Watch this. Let's go here to vector, and let's put in a sequence from 0 to 100 by 10. So if you need a refresher in R, I'm saving a sequence that goes from 0 to 100 by 10. And now let's do this. Let's say final grade. If you were to make a 100 on the other 50% of your grade, well, then that would be multiplied by 50. And these are the test portion, the homework and the weekly quizzes portion. So let's say you get 100 on that. And then we're going to add to it the vector, but we're going to times the vector by 50%. And it's pretty easy to see what's going to go on here because it's going to be half. But now we're going to do one last cool thing to this. You ready? It's the last cool thing we're going to do. We're going to go names of final grades, and we're going to store in the vector. And let's just take a look at this to see what's going on. You know what we're actually going to do? Oh, wait. Final grades. You know what we could do? I think we could do this. Perfect. Okay. What has Brian computed here? This right here is what you make on the tests and the highest possible grade you could get in the class. Does everyone understand right here? This is what you've made on the test portion, and down here is what would be your final grade in the class. Who's with me on this? First person, 200 points. Who's with me on this? The top thing is what you've made in the class, and then the lower thing, yup, John right there, you get your 200. So, and Annie 200 right there, and Jason and Colton and Kim, nice. So check this out. If you do everything in the class, the homeworks and the weekly quizzes, what do you need to make a B in the class? What do you need to make on the test? Who can read off this chart and tell me if I do everything in this class, if I did make hundreds on the homeworks, hundreds on the quizzes, get my extra credit, what do I need? Boom, Jason right there. You just need to literally pass them and you'll make a B. Isn't that insane? But this is if you do everything, if you're doing all the homeworks, if you're doing all the quizzes and you're getting the extra credit. And even reasonably, if you think, like, let's change this. Let's say, okay, you don't get 100 on this. Let's say you were to get like a 95, which is very obtainable. So this is a very obtainable. Now, if you were to get a 60, you'd technically be at a C+. Maybe it's one of those things where there's like extra credit, who knows, but you would technically be at a C+, but you would only need like a 62 or something to get the B-. A 62 to get a B-, and this is a 95 on the other portions of your grade is very obtainable. If you make an 80, you're at a B+, but an 81 or 82 would get you to the A-. So here's the big takeaway. If you do all the work in the class, you can at least get a grade higher than what you make on the tests. If you make B's on the tests, you can make an A in the class. If you make C's on the test, you can make a B in the class. Like we see here, a C on the test, a low C on the test, and a solid B in the class. If you're making low D's, you're almost up to a B- in the class. So the biggest thing is, what's your takeaway from this when it comes to the portion of your grade right here? What is your takeaway from this portion of your grade? What is your takeaway from this? The analytics labs, which Brian will help you on, the homeworks, which we have TAs, which Brian will be working on Discord, which I will work these problems with you. I'll help you understand them. I'll put them in videos. You can ask me like, hey, we can succeed. In other words, do the work, do the work, do the work. There's no late assignments. You got it, Braden, right there. Braden, 200 points. We can do it. That's a positive attitude. Do this portion of your work. because if you do this portion of your work, then your other portion, like you can make 60s on the test, and if you do a little bit higher, you'll make the B minus. So you can do poorly on the test and still do well in the class. Speaking of the tests, we're trying to figure out exactly how to do the coding midterm. Back when we all could gather in person, we would have everybody in a large room, and you would sit there and you would code, and we would kind of hover over your shoulders. I miss it. But we would have everybody all together, and it was everyone's least favorite part of the course, but it was pretty interesting. But we want to make sure you can code, and that's a big portion of this class. You don't have to be the best coder in the world. We just want you to come out with a good understanding of how to code. So we had one student who was going into a PhD program. I got to see how they're doing. I miss all my students. I know SMC, I'm talking about Raj. One of my students, she found an error on Dr. Petrie when Dr. Petrie taught this with me, and he designed this, but she found an error on Dr. Petrie's coding exam. She called me over and she was like, Brian, I think this is meant to be this, and this should be this way. And I was like, yeah, it kind of looks right. And I was like, hey, Dr. Petrie, and he was like, oh yeah, that's right. He was like, wow, I didn't notice that. And I had looked over it too, and I didn't see it. So we have some students who amaze us, and they're in a PhD program now in computer science. So congratulations to them. And I tell my students this all the time. I want you to come back and teach me things. I want you to help me understand new concepts and challenge what I think, because we should always be, questioning and challenging the world, and, never going with the majority opinion, and always, if the majority opinion is right, don't go against the majority. I can't go with the majority, don't just go with the majority, because if everyone jumps off a bridge, anyways, I'm done. But anyways, those students make like 102 in the class. Those are the students that make the 102, and I'm always astounded. But I've had many students who come into this class and they're like, I'm a little bit afraid, I don't know how to code, but they make an A and they do great. It's one of these classes where doing the work pays off, because we're going to make the coding midterm a lot like the code you're doing. So if you have to code for loops, if you have to code functions for the assignments, that's what you're going to be doing on the coding midterm. Does that make sense, Jerry? Is there a possibility of the midterm being in person, even though we are online, especially with me in Texas? About a 0% possibility. Payne, good question, but with me in Texas, probably definitely not, because I'm in Texas. But really good question, Payne. You get your 200 for the day. Love the questions. Throw them out here at any time, and you tagged me. So the coding midterm is only 10% of your grade. Don't let it stifle you. Oh, of course I know Ethan Craig. Of course I do. Of course I know Ethan. I thought it was Ethan Moreau for a moment, and I know Ethan Moreau too, but of course I know Ethan Craig, and I know Patrick and Ethan Craig. I said, yeah, man, I know Patrick and Ethan. So I'm thinking about the right guys, right? The take-home final and the Respondus final, there'll be a take-home for this class. It'll be more on the data mining portion of it, and the Respondus final will be on Respondus. So you will do a lockdown browser. Now, when you take it, you will get a cheat sheet. Make sure to kind of look at the camera when you're taking the test, like look into your screen, and then you can look at your cheat sheet. But you generally don't want to be like, you don't want to like be completely looking away and everything. We'll put out videos on how to take Respondus finals. Just make sure you're not like, hey, so-and-so, hey, such and such, or like looking like, just, we understand if you have a cheat sheet, you're going to look at it, but we'll put out videos. So I think that covers everything. Analytics labs, during a portion of the class, I'll usually cover questions. And we do drop 2. I think we have that in here, right? We drop 2 assignments. We'll talk about that right here. And we got some big news on that. So Kim, you get your 200. I really appreciate you bringing me back to the homework. So we will drop 2 assignments. You get 2 free drops. Where's that in here? I have no idea. Should be on here somewhere. But you get 2 free drops. With these 2 free drops, they're for any reason. So your 2 free drops are for any reason. Please contact us if there's a major reason, like if you get into an accident, if you are going through depression. Please contact us if there's something major happening in your life that's like, hey, and we usually tell you to go through the Dean of Students. We want students to know that we're there for them. If it's like, hey, Brian, the power went out, or there's a lot of things that can happen that are kind of random, but we do have that in here if random things happen, like but if there's a major thing, please tell us. If it's something that's totally unplanned, like I got into an accident like 2 years ago, a car accident, and I wasn't able to give a final, then I'd contact and I'd say, hey, Brian, I wasn't able to take this, but contact us for major things that happened. Does everyone understand that? And we usually have students go through the Dean of Students so we can file it, and we want to treat all students fairly. Don't turn in late homework. Don't submit it via email. Gabby asked a great question. Gabby gets 200 points right here. The respondents final is a lot of multiple choice. It's a lot of text entry. And so it'll be like the Canvas stuff, but multiple choice, numeric entry, and some choosing between answers. Really great question, Gabby, right there. So the weekly quizzes are meant to kind of mimic that. The analytics laboratories are meant to kind of mimic what you will see on the respondents final. So hopefully that helps out. And I'm trying to think what else. Definitely work together on these homeworks. Definitely help each other out. Grading. We talked about grading. There is that. Course grades. What's our schedule look like? Motivation in R overview. We are doing great. This is the Monday, Wednesday schedule. And you can see homeworks are due on Tuesday. The first person to suggest in the chat, do your homework early. Who's going to suggest it? I would not wait till Tuesdays to get your homework done. I would try to attempt it the week it's happening. And then I would maybe clean it up over the weekend and ask final questions at the start of the next week. Who wants to be the 200 points in the chat? It's going to be like, get it done early. That's the best way. Come to office hours early. Do your homework early. Evan right there. Evan, you took my classes too, right? So there we go. And Elena and Emma. We'll give points right there. Emma, I know Emma too. Oh, man, I miss seeing. Emma, did you take online? I'm trying to think. Let's do this. So there's our whole schedule, everything going on, academic integrity. Please don't cheat. Don't post your assignments where other people can get it. They're right there. And then you guys are cracking me up. So awesome. Okay. So that's got everything here. Let's start talking about some specifics for our class with our last 20 minutes. So we got 20 minutes left and we need to get some motivation right here. Hopefully I've motivated everybody, but let's hop back over to our modules and let's get into the motivation for today's class, the overview of business analytics data mining. And we've got our slides set up for this. Cool. Oh no, I need to go back to the other slides. I hate these slides. I'll fix this. I'll make sure. Dr. Lou's gonna be like, Brian. So let me hop back over to my slide screen. Here we are on the slide screen. Can we end the class with the George Box book? What George Box book? What? Yes, we will, Gabby. Remind me at the end. I remembered. So, okay. So, so we have a little bit of a course overview right here. Let's talk about it real briefly. And this is why I hate these slides. 2 seconds here. Yeah, I think we'll be fine now. Yeah, we're 2 seconds. Let me reorganize the screen. I need to go get the old slides. What happened is they reorganized the slides, and I really don't like the new structure. I don't like the new format. Very sorry for that. And let me fix these slides right now. 2 seconds. You're about to see the ins and outs of this. Nothing's going on. There is no man behind the curtain. There we go right there. Look at that. Perfecto. Oh no, really? Is that big? I am going to go get those old slides and make it happen. There we go. It's not letting you view the slides? Let me fix that. You're talking about on Canvas? Is it not letting you view the slides on Canvas? Is it not letting you view the slides on Canvas? Let me try to fix that right here for you. It said unpublished. Oh my gosh, we have an unpublished module. 2 seconds. Trying to find out where my screen is at with the end. Okay. Did we not publish the modules? Wait, it says week 1. Let me go back to the other screen. Why is this not published? It says overview business analytics. So do people not see this right here? I think I can go to student view. Presented is published. The third from the bottom. Oh, the presented is published. We published this one. Is it the blue one? Which would make me feel even better. It's the blue one. I should have never changed it. Ah, it's blue. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I was wondering why. Okay. I think that does that. Okay. Cool. And then, perfect. Okay, 2 seconds. You're about to see behind the mirror again. Let's hop back here. And let's fix this. 2 seconds. Go over here. And go right here. And then go right here. There we go. Perfect. I think we should be good on this now. Awesome. Let's do this. Look how perfectly they fit in there now. Okay. So what is data mining? What is going on with this class? What's happening? Well, one, we're via YouTube, but two is when we look at this right here, data mining and business analytics asks a lot of questions, a lot of very important questions about, how do we optimize a process? What products do we sell at what price? Some of my favorite examples for data mining would be companies that have literally figured out what product to give coupons for to what customers. What does that make you think of when you think of a company giving coupons to certain customers to encourage them to buy more? What would you think about there when I say like a company sending out coupons? What company would you think of for 200 points? Target predicting pregnancy. I like that right there. Target definitely sends out coupon. Target predicts pregnancies. Personalized ad. Target's Kroger Plus card. Kim, right there. You're totally right. So all of this right here, it's all about predicting customers' wants, customers' needs, optimizing a process, where opportunities are. There's so many things to get into. Where do we invest money? These are all things we get into with business analytics. And what is business analytics? It's just data-driven decisions. I can't state that enough, that all we're doing is just taking info, and then we are picking from this info the best decision based on the data. So we are picking the best decision based on the data. And that's what business analytics is. We don't go by hunches. We don't go by, maybe this will work. Business analytics is taking all the data and making the data-driven decisions from it. So what do we have right here? Simply working with numbers does not make someone an analytics practitioner. What you need to do is you actually need to take the data. That's awesome, Eric. Oh, Eric, so good to see you. Feel free to come in and join in. So what you need to do is you need to take the data and turn it into insights. You want to actually make actionable decisions from the data that are data-driven. And what do I mean by that? Well, we had a really good example in 201 yesterday. In 201 yesterday, someone said he was the manager at a restaurant and they were looking at all the data and they decided to do Wing Wednesday. And we asked him like how successful this was because he was looking at the data and he was like, oh, we should do a Wing Wednesday. He said, we had to add on an extension to the patio on our restaurant. It was so successful that they had to build like more seating area. That's how successful that data-driven decision was, is that just new business they had never seen before it came in. So maybe they looked at the surrounding numbers and they were like, okay, this place has Wing Wednesday. It's very popular. Maybe we could mimic that and get the same sort of success. So working with the numbers, making data-driven decisions is not just like, looking at numbers. It's actually turning it into actions and actually turning it into profit, especially for companies. So I love it right there. So data mining is the focus on finding patterns on hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions in databases. So when you think about these large companies now, I think it is that Amazon does like a terabyte of transactions a day. It's in the other notes that I think I still have up. No, I think I closed them down. Did I? Wait, right here. Here's the other notes. They're off center. But it's in these notes that Amazon does so many. Oh, no, it's the wrong notes. Too many notes. Here we go. Sorry, it's off center. But it's that Walmart does wow. And then New York Stock Exchange, 1 terabyte of structured transactions a day. Amazon, about 3.5 million items sold a day. This is insanity. Could you imagine somebody trying to go through this data by looking at it? Could you imagine someone being like, let me figure out what product sells with what product on Amazon? Could anyone imagine that? But I want you to think about this. If you were to work for Amazon, Tableau is the answer. Gavin, that's a really good answer right there. Gavin, I'm throwing you 50 extra points. You're still interacting. It's near the end of class, but you're still throwing out some answers. And Tableau is a great answer to visualize stuff because visualizations give us knowledge. Visualizations give data context, and that's what business analytics is. So Tableau is part of business analytics. We don't use it a lot in this class. We use it in the capstone class. So Tableau is a great option right there. Let's say you work for Amazon and somebody were to buy, let's say anime. What else might you market to them? Let's say you're not going to market anime. What else might you market? Totally going for the nerds here, but I'm a nerd, so that's all right. What else might you market to someone who buys anime on Amazon? I'm scared of what people are going to answer now. What else might you market? Oh, those Poke Sticks. John, you're right. I do like those. You did a good job. Video games, anime wallets, like anime related, like not ramen. So yeah, we're seeing like maybe some cultural stuff right here. I like it. These are all great things. And so I just want to say that I bought my textbooks yesterday on Amazon. They recommended horse cells to me post-purchase. You're at 200 points. Monk's right there. Anime accessory. Peyton, you're cracking me. And that might be a good recommendation, Peyton. You never know. Manga Raj. Actually, that was the answer. Maj gets a secret 50. Breaking the rules bonus. Raj, you're at 250. So just John deodorant. I swear, I've got my Axe body spray. No, I'm just kidding. I got Old Spice. So you guys are cracking me up in the chat. We're here to have fun. But think about this. They're going to market to people based on what they buy. They're going to look at their previous purchases and they're going to say, okay, this item goes with this item. This item would be more likely to be bought. I have no idea what horse saddles were suggested. That's too funny. Do you have any idea? Is it monks? Please tell me if I pronounce it wrong, but do you have any idea what I was saying? Do you ride horses? I have no idea. So with data mining, there's so much we do. We do statistics, we do database systems, we do artificial intelligence, we do machine learning. It's weird, right? And so data mining is this all-encompassing usage of data that when you think about what it's capable of, it just blows your mind. And I think everyone's always thought about that with computers, but I'm literally streaming a class on the internet from Texas, running a ridiculous computer. Just, it's insane to me what we can do these days. I probably would have said that in the 90s. Who knows? You can ask 10-year-old Brian in the 90s. I like buying random things with no relation to keep them on their toes. Natasha, 50 extra bonus. I need to stop with the breaking the rules. I'm only supposed to break the rules once per class, but you're at 250. If I break the rules, it can only happen randomly at the end of class. Brian breaks the rules. So we're just seeing a lot of the overview. This is our kind of fun overview of like, what's the point of this class? You can identify similar groups of customers so that the targeted ads can be designed. One cool thing we do in this class is we do clustering. And when we do clustering is a way of putting people into groups. You're like, well, no, duh, Brian, it's clusters. And that's kind of the way it works with some of these algorithms, is when you think about, well, why would we cluster people together? How might Kroger cluster their customers together? Can you think about a unifying characteristic that Kroger might be like, okay, we're going to send coupons to people. We've got these type of customers, age groups, boom, right there. Because who are you going to send frozen pizza to? Who are you going to send pizza rolls, frozen pizzas, and toaster strudel coupons to? I mean, I like that stuff too, but who are you going to send that to? I mean, obviously Brian's age group, college students. Who are you going to send Fiber One spinach and I'm trying to think what else. Anime fanatics. So yeah. Boomers, yeah, my parents are baby boomers, and my mom loves Fiber One. I'm like, what else do I see when I go? I see low-fat sour cream, another one with spinach, but I see Fiber One. Sorry, Fiber One. We're never getting sponsored by Fiber One because they're my least favorite cereal of all time. Like, I'll be like, what cereal do we have? My mom's like, oh, we only have Fiber One. I'm like, oh, I hate that cereal. It's the worst. It's not even cereal. It's just ridiculous. Give me some Captain Crunch. Jason knows what I'm talking about right there. So with this right here, we have different ways of clustering people together. And all these things are going to help us make better decisions. We can develop a model to make whether or not giving someone a loan is good or bad. Fruit Loops good. But think about this. When you do a credit card transaction on American Express, what is the null hypothesis for that transaction? That it is fraudulent or that it's a good transaction? What would the null hypothesis be for a credit card transaction? Fraudulent or good? First person, 200 points. Fraudulent or good transaction? What would the null be? Natasha right there, 200 points. It'd be that it's good because that's what they're going to assume until they have evidence that it's bad. It's actually not fraud. So they're going to assume it's good, and then their model is going to give it a probability of being bad. And they might even, there's ways to set the threshold to have a model that goes more towards false positives or one that goes more towards false negatives. What is the cost of a false positive on, so we're just doing some business analytics examples right now, but what is the cost of a false positive when you predict a credit card transaction and make the wrong prediction on it? What would the cost of a false positive be? So I think the null is that it's good. Reverse it, Jason. You're close. Reverse it, though. That'd be a false negative. So a false negative would be, and here I can draw it out right here. Let me hop to the main screen. We're doing a little bit of review right now. So here I'm going to draw it out for everyone to see. So you could lose a customer, Micah right there, 200 points. And Jason, you guys get your 200 points for the day. So the null is that it's a good transaction. And the alternative is that it's a bad transaction. And I'll go between like screens like this. So the null is that it's good, and a false positive is a type 1 error where the null is true, but you reject it. So it's true that it's a good transaction, but we say it's a bad transaction. So what is true is the null, and the null is true in a type 1 error. So with this right here, it is a good transaction, but we say we have evidence it is bad. So does that make sense, right? Yeah, Jason, nice job. And so a type 1 error would be us calling the customer and saying like, hey, we just saw you bought 10 years of subscription to anime on Amazon. They'd be like, yeah, I love anime. And it was on sale. And they're like, oh, okay. Hey, thank good. You love anime. I love anime too. So that's a type 1 error right there. But what's a type 2 error? In a type 2 error, the null is false. So it's a bad transaction, but we fail to reject the null. Do you see the 2 F's right here? Type 2 error, the null is false, and we fail to reject it. That's a false negative. That are advertising that now 10 years of anime. Don't tell me, I'll buy it. Chelsea and I should get Crunchyroll. If Hulu runs out on us, we'll get Crunchyroll. So it's true that it's a bad transaction, but they are going to say it's good. So what would be a type 2 error? It would be that someone does a fraudulent transaction and we don't catch it. That might also have us lose a customer and have us lose money, because we'll lose money on the transaction and we'll lose money because we'll lose our customer. So both of those are pretty bad right there. So let's hop back to the slides here. Back. And so with this right here, you can look at the business analytics side of this. Like, what is the cost, benefits, and how do we use all these decisions right here with fraud detection, with Amazon, with Kroger, with Pilot. Pilot is huge into business analytics. Disney. Anyone ever seen those Disney magic bands? Who knows what I'm talking about, those Disney magic bands? I think Disney put like 200 million or like 400 million investment in the Disney magic bands. It might even have been $1 billion or something like that. But Disney has all of this data. Used one. Yep, you know what I'm talking about. Disney is all about analytics. Disney has their own analytics teams. Disney is analytics to the point. I know, right? It makes things go so easy. Just like, boop. And so, I love it. And so Disney even does analytics on where to place like their trash cans. And they do analytics on like how to keep customers because they look at the lines and everything, and then they like make models that like move people around. I know, it's so crazy, right, Raj? I think it's one of the coolest things that Disney is like, okay, we want to make sure that the levels of the park stay about even and that people don't have these long waits. And then they probably know what give people a happy experience, and they're all about it. So Disney's really good with analytics. So we've got the Kroger examples right here. Fun stuff. Kroger. We're just doing examples. These are the pillars. Oh, Lean Six Sigma. You know, we're talking about some Lean Six Sigma right there. So these are the pillars of analytics. You've already heard me mention a few of them today. Think about what we've done. We saw regression. You saw some regression earlier when I made the model with I think it had 100 different models in it. But I was able to do what's called a GLM net, an elastic net regression, where I was able to control for the regularization parameters. You're not meant to know any of this right now, but what you learned with regression will carry over into this class. We've got classification, which is when we predict like fraud or not fraud. So the examples we were talking about with classification right here. How about the market basket? Who can tell me what examples were we talking about with market basket a moment ago? They want to maximize their profit. Yeah, that's actually what they want, Noah. They want to make you happy because they want money. What examples were we talking about? Yeah, the anime with Amazon, Target, Amazon. Great job right there, Matthew. You get your 200 for the day. So the Kroger, Target, Amazon, what do people buy together is association rules, like what products are associated. What were we talking about? What company specifically were we talking about with cluster or segmentation ways of doing analytics? Pasta and pasta sauce. Yeah, that's a pretty, if people buy pasta, they'll buy pasta sauce. So wait, should you put pasta and pasta sauce on sale? Should you put both of those items on sale? Think about this from a business aspect. Should you put your pasta on sale and your pasta sauce on sale? You should put them both on sale? Why, or why not? And maybe someone in the industry would tell me, no, Brian, yes, Brian, and here's why. Why might you put one of them on sale? Why might you put pasta sauce on sale? Yeah, exactly. Monk's right there has got it totally right. 200 points right there for the day. If they buy one, they'll buy the other. Jason, you're totally right. Yeah, it's like if you sell the pasta sauce, people will go and buy the pasta. So yeah, everyone understands. This is the whole thing right here. It's like, this is what we call lift, is that if somebody buys pasta sauce, they're more likely to buy this item. So think about this. If you put, let's say, expensive crackers on sale, what might people buy if you put expensive crackers on sale? Like, let's say you put in your weekly ad, like these really good, like, let's say $10 crackers are now like $6. Like, oh, big sale. Yep, cheese. And if you put expensive crackers on sale, what do you think people are going to buy? You think they're going to buy American cheese slices? They're like, oh, I need some American cheese slices. They're going to buy some good cheese. They're going to buy, we just had, what was it called? Green Thunder. So it was really good cheese. And then we had another one, was like a Merlot cheese. Oh, so good. It was so good. Cured meats. They're going to buy all these expensive things. So if you put the expensive crackers on sale, they're going to be like, ooh, they're going to buy a brie. They're going to make a baked brie cheese whiz. I love it. Kevin's going to buy the $10 crackers and put cheese. Hey, cheese whiz is good. What are we saying here? So the customers are more likely to buy the other one at the same price. So what it is, what we call lift with this, and what we're talking about here with the association rules, is that if we sell somebody the expensive crackers, then they are more likely to buy other expensive items. So you can look through the data and say customers who buy item X have a 10%, or you could say 10 times higher rate of buying product Y. So if we get them to buy product X, it's possible, we can't say this will happen, but there's a likely association with buying product Y. So we'll make our money back on product Y because we sell them the expensive crackers at a little bit of a loss, but then we know this percentage of customers generally buy the expensive meats, the expensive cheeses, the expensive wines, and our margins on those other items are amazing. So maybe we put the lower margin item on sale and then we make big money. How much do data miners work with behavioral economics? Oh, John, that's a great question. Maybe email me about that. I'd have to look into that more. That's such a great question. John, we're breaking the rules and giving you 50 points because you even stumped me. I don't know much about behavioral economics, but that's such a great question. Adam, we probably need to reset your points. Adam, remind me to reset your points. Or Adam, you were right at 10,000. Remind me you're at 10,000. Or Adam, I think, are you in the class right now? Wait. When's in the class? Is it at 10:05? Oh, no. Is it at 10:05? Sorry. It is at 10:05. You're right. It is the end of class. Class is over. Class over. I thought it was at 10:10 or 11:10. Sorry, I'm behind in time. It is, you know what? Kendall, we're putting you at 250. Kendall, thank you so much for telling us class is over. Class is over. I thought it was, I'm not used to these new crazy class times, and we're having so much fun talking about analytics stuff. Class is over. I'm sorry. We have a saying. We start on time, we end on time. That's our saying for the class. So our saying for the class is we start on time, we end on time, and I broke the rules. Very sorry. If you're here right now, I'm going to give you your 200 points for the day because I broke the rules, and I appreciate you staying, but that's not the point. I'm just taking questions right now, but we start on time, we end on time. Chelsea's doing great. She's loving the residency. She was in an internship. The move went really well. It was a lot. I tell you, moving out of an apartment that you were in for over a decade, I should play Dead by Daylight. Everyone's suggesting that game to me. Maybe I'll check it out. Like, send me an email about it and be like, hey, Brian, check out Dead by Daylight. And I'll see if it's on, like, what should I play it on? We're in Texas, College Station. I'm in College Station. And this is, I was telling Gabby about this. This is my George Box signed book. And I think, who else signed it? Did Hunter and Hunter sign it? In memory of RAF to Judy, George Box. So there's the George Box signatures on there. There's George Box on there somewhere. Which one is he? There he is. He's top one right here. My pinky's over George Box signature. George Box, and Hunter. So Hunter and Hunter. Hunter, was it? Did Box? Who married? Did Box marry? It's so funny, like the statisticians who got married and like, yeah. What's my favorite game? Really good question. We got one of my favorite games over here. Well, their neighbors are gonna hear that. Got this little guy here. That guy. I should do like this. I should like do this with him. There we go. This little pixel art thing. It's Mega Man. If I ever do like one of those gamer streamer things, I could start setting up my like streamer stuff. You'll put it into the sheet. Email me if you need the sheet. Would you mind explaining the Elizabeth, great question. So with the last week, I asked my students, you can ask me any question in the comments below the videos. So put a comment below the video and tag it with that. So put a comment below the video and put that Lewimes in it, and then I'll mention it. If it's like a really good one, like, hey, Brian, how do you use this library in R or something like that, or anything related to like what we're doing, and then I might read it and I might give you additional points. But those points right there are your points you get for posting comments below videos. So that's just to give the channel more interaction. You're not required to do it, but it helps out. Texas has been all right. It's super hot. I've actually been in Texas before when I did archaeology. It's all right. I'm going to say this and I mean it. Knoxville's my absolute favorite. I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying UT is my absolute favorite university. I've visited a few universities. I went to Appalachian State before I came to UT. But I really think there's something. We talk about the volunteer spirit, and I've seen so many, I've seen some things I was not happy for with UT, or things that people have done, or, you can't be happy every moment. But overall, even when something bad happens, the students, the faculty, the staff, the facility services, like I miss Red even. Red's one of the people who works. Does anyone know Red besides me? Red's got red hair. He's a good old country boy. He'd be like, hey, Brian. And I'm like, hey, Red. He'd be like, how you doing today? Well, like, I'm good, Red. And so I miss Red. I miss so many people. I miss Janice. I miss Jane. Jane retired last year. But there's something to me because you know who I've never met, and I'd love it if they ever wanted to do something with us. Oh, for later? Oh, let's check that out. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, I think, is the Tennessee spirit. I think with what she's done with Gatlinburg and helping out communities, especially when they went through, I think it was the fires a few years ago, she really is what I would say is the Tennessee spirit. Like if you're looking for something that is the Tennessee spirit and helping others and the volunteer spirit, I think she's a great example of that. I mean, there's so many great examples, but yeah, just shout outs to Dolly Parton right there. Not that she's ever going to see this, but you got to really appreciate when people care about their community. That's where you're from. Yeah. Raj. Oh, really, Raj? I didn't know that, Raj. So see, since it's you, Raj, I wonder if you're messing with me. I can only wonder. Dolly Parton. Why not Dolly Parton 2020? If Dolly Parton ran, I'd probably vote for her. I'd be like, Dolly's great. She is really funny too. She was I actually went to the same doctor. She went to the same eye doctor, and Dr. Ming Wang, and he was in Nashville. And I was looking to get eye surgery a while back. I never did, but he lived right near Dollywood. That's awesome. Raj is from Sevierville. My cousin went to Sevierville, and he was like, "I'm going to Severville." I was like, "Sevierville." You never told me a joke or a lie. So you're saying that in the Joker, Thanos kills everybody in the Joker? In the Joker, Thanos is actually the bad guy? Is that what you're saying, Raj? This is the end of class. We're just taking questions. Everyone, did I give spoilers again, Raj? The best thing, Raj, is I can hear your voice. I can hear. Oh my god. I miss seeing everybody. Everything you said is true and factual. Oh, so don't worry if you're here right now. Class is over. This is just you don't have to stay through this time. We're just kind of relaxing, and this is the after class saying hey to everybody. And Gavin, so good seeing you too. I can see you in my office, Gavin. I know we're like Gavin. We'd walk in to the left. Your chair was near my desk. So Ben Short. Ben. Oh, see, don't drop spoilers. Don't put the ending of Joker in the chat. I still haven't seen it. We'll watch it eventually soon here. I'll watch Joker, I promise. So you know what we should do? Maybe I'll mention this next class. See, like, I feel like I could like do Joker hair. What if I did the whole class taught as the Joker? Like to say goodbye to my hair. I did the whole class taught as the Joker because I dressed up as the Joker a while back. What are the labs going to look like? They'll be pretty easy. They'll just be a few questions. So you'll see them on Canvas and I'll go over them. So they're meant to be like questions that you'll do inside of R. Great question right there, Donnie. There'll be questions you do inside of R that then you just put the answers into Canvas. So it'll be like, like run this for loop and what's the answer? And so does that make sense, Donnie? It'll be like imagine it said like, generating random numbers. Let's say one of the questions was like how to generate random numbers. And it's like, generate a random number using the seed 474 and the number between 1 through 1000. So what we would do here is we do set seed. I mean, this is like just a kind of quick example. And then we would do this right here, and we would do sample 1 through 1000. And we want to do one number, a random number. There we go. And if I run this code again right here, it'll give me the same number every time. Does that make sense right there, Donnie? So if this was a question on the Canvas quizzes, it would be something like this, like, generate a random number between 1 and 1000 using the set seed 474, just like to see if you know how to use randomness. Some of them might be a little bit longer, but you would then put this number into Canvas and it would tell you if you're right or wrong. And no points for liking the videos, I wish, but I would hate someone to say like, I have to like the videos to get points. I figure the comments are kind of good enough because they can be class related, but liking a video is just liking a video. I appreciate it if you like the videos. We had 2 dislikes on the stats one yesterday, and I was like, why did people dislike it? But we get random people joining in. You're welcome, Donnie. Great question. Johnny, you get your 200 for the day. Great job. But Brian, I appreciate it. Keep asking questions if you have it. I've been kicked out of the lectures periodically. Are you joining the Discord after class? Yeah, I can join in right after class. I think I have a meeting at 11:30, a Zoom meeting. When is my dad? My dad sent me stuff during class. Oh, he likes the way this speakers display with their PowerPoint slides. That's decent. I like ours better. You'll take your 450 and walk. You know what I can do? I can actually play the Marvel intro on Discord. So if you want, I can do that. And I think we got everything answered. Where is that form we turn in the points to? Yeah, let me drop the points. And Natasha, it's so good to see you too. Natasha, you worked Stat Lab, right? And you took 201. And did you take 320 also? And are you doing veterinary? Oh, no, I shouldn't tell you things. Oh, no. But so good to see. I'm trying to remember what everyone, like, I know Natasha. And I feel so bad if a student's like, Brian, you know me. And I'm like, I'm trying to think, like, do I, who? But, because Natasha, I know we've met when, like, setting up to do all the Stat 201 stuff and everything. So I'm grabbing that form right here. You did? Yep, exactly, Natasha. We would work the shifts together a lot. Yeah, John, I'll show that again right here. So how you email me is the following. Here it is right here. Let's hop back to the main screen. There it is right there. So depending on what class you're in, so like if I was to email Brian, I would email Brian BAS 474. There's my initials and Discord link. And so that would be like an email tell. Does that make sense, John, right there? That is how you'll email me right there. That's got it. So we get the max 200 per day. You can get a max 200. Yep. So that maxes it out. And then each week you can get up to 500. So if you want, you can put a comment below this video, Raj. I know Raj put some comments on some videos. So you can put a comment on this video and get 50 extra points. You can use the Lewimes, and I might use it in a segment next week when I kind of go over stuff. So at the start of class, I'll probably do like, hey, here's some questions from last class. Like some people commented this and they want to know this. So yeah, does that all make sense right there? So that's when I'll play like I got to hop back to the other screen. I've only got it set up on that. That's when I'll play that.
Leave your business analytics questions below, and I'll respond quickly or in the next episode of BZAN.
Well, that's got it. Okay, I'm going to hop over to the Discord for a moment, and then I have the meeting with the student. We're going to play the video bumper out. I'll see everyone next time. Bye, bye, bye.